It's no secret that America's underground infrastructure is in poor condition. The ASCE 2021 Infrastructure Report Card gave a C- grade for the country's drinking water infrastructure system. It's estimated that 6 billion gallons of treated water is lost every day in the United States. As aging pipe materials, most of which are subject to corrosion, reach the end of their useful life, the amount of drinking water lost daily will continue to rise. Replacing aging water mains with PVC, a corrosion-free material, will help preserve our nation's drinking water. Studies done by Utah State University have shown that PVC has the lowest water main break rates of all piping materials. However, Diamond Plastics believes this break rate number can be lowered with adherence to proper installation procedures. During installation, there are a few long-established practices which are key to achieving longevity. They occasionally get overlooked, potentially compromising the useful life of the pipe. There are several studies published that confirm a 100-year-plus design life for PVC pipe. While proper engineering design plays a role in the pipe's longevity, installation and inspection are equally as important. Improper installation may have an adverse effect on any pipe material's design life. Two major keys to longevity for PVC pipe are making sure you do not over-insert or over-deflect the joint during assembly. Unlike other installation malpractices such as misalignment during insertion, which can dislodge the gasket from the bell raceway, or allowing foreign material to enter between the spigot and the gasket sealing surface, over-insertion and over-deflection may not cause an issue during initial acceptance testing of the line. Diamond Plastics Corporation's gasketed PVC pipe is designed to have a gap between the back of the bell and the end of the spigot once a joint is properly assembled. The gap provides clearance between the bell and the spigot for both thermal expansion and joint deflection to Diamond's maximum angular offset of 1 degree. In the case of Diamond Plastics C900 pressure pipe, 2 assembly marks are applied to every spigot before they leave our production facility. Stopping insertion at either of these marks ensures the gap in the back of the bell is present. At minimum insertion depth, both marks will be visible, and the first mark will be flush with the lip of the bell. At maximum insertion depth, only the second mark will be visible and flush with the lip of the bell. Assembling to either mark provides a leak-free joint as well as a space at the back of the bell for thermal expansion and angular deflection of the joint. Some installers and utility owners feel the need to push the spigot all the way to the back of the bell, also known as homing the joint. This causes the spigot to be in contact with the interior bell wall. Any movement of the spigot, whether it be from thermal expansion, settlement, or joint deflection, will create stresses in the bell wall. These stresses can lead to premature failure of the pipe or a leaking gasket. Homing is improper installation. Over-insertion of 2 or 3 joints may be inconsequential to the pipe run length. However, homing the majority of joints over several thousand feet of pipeline will lead to a significant loss in laying length. Additional pipe must be purchased to make up for this loss in laying length at the cost of the contractor. As mentioned earlier, the gap between the back of the bell and the end of the spigot provides clearance for joint deflection up to Diamond's 1 degree allowable. When installed to the correct assembly mark, the spigot rotates at the gasket and does not come into contact with the interior bell wall. This is true whether the spigot is installed to the minimum or maximum assembly mark. Deflecting the joint past Diamond's allowable 1 degree joint deflection will create additional stresses in the bell. For reference, a 1 degree joint deflection corresponds to a 4-inch offset for 20-foot pipe lengths and a 4.5-inch offset for 22-foot pipe lengths when measured against a straight line. To determine if the joint is deflected after assembly, the distance from the lip of the bell to the maximum assembly mark may be measured at several locations around the circumference of the pipe. If all measurements are equal, the joint is in straight alignment. Installing past the maximum assembly mark eliminates the flexibility of Diamond Plastics joint design that allows for 1-degree joint deflection. In this case, the spigot no longer rotates at the gasket. Rather, the end of the spigot is locked in the back of the bell, creating additional stress in the bell. Any joint deflection then causes one side of the gasket to decompress, losing your leak-free seal. Over-deflecting the joint is improper installation. There are several ways to successfully stop installation at the insertion mark without over-assembling the joint. For small diameter pipe, a bar and block may be used. By using manual force, the installer has better control of the assembly force and can stop pushing the spigot into the bell once the insertion mark is flush with the lip of the bell. When a bar and block is no longer feasible, other installation aids are available. There are several equipment manufacturers who produce tools for 4-inch through 12-inch pipe assembly, or come-alongs may be used on pipe up through 24-inch diameter. These tools assemble the joint in straight alignment and allow installation to be stopped when the insertion mark is flush with the lip of the bell. Only one installer is needed to operate such a tool. This allows the backhoe operator to continue digging the trench, increasing the total amount of pipe that can be laid in one day. For larger diameters of PVC, assembly tools are not available. Joints are commonly assembled using mechanical equipment. The end of the bell must be protected from damage. If a backhoe is used, the machine should be walked forward rather than pushing with the hydraulics of the machine. Walking the machine gives the operator greater control over the speed of assembly. It's likely the joint will be over-inserted if the operator simply extends the arm of the backhoe rather than walking the machine forward. When using mechanical equipment for assembly, the previously installed piece of pipe needs to be backfilled to prevent movement. If it's not backfilled, it is likely that the assembly force will cause this previously installed spigot to be over-inserted. Over 2 million miles of PVC pipe are in service throughout North America. Utilities realize that PVC's lowest break rate of all materials, ease of installation, and immunity to corrosion make it today's standard for pipe materials. Proper installation and inspection ensure you maintain the keys to PVC longevity and will have a system that operates properly for 100 years or more.